This is what it feels like to live in the double exponential.
So the reason that we also wanted to do this presentation is so that you could see and have a visceral understanding of when you see in these examples, it's like a month ago, 1 day ago, 2 months ago. This is happening at a faster and faster clip. And because it's happening so quickly, it's hard to perceive it. Like paradigmatically, this whole space sits in our like cognitive blind spot. You all know that if you look kind of like right here in your eye, there's literally a blind spot because your eye won't has like a nerve ending that won't let you see what's right there. And we have a blind spot paradigmatically with exponential curves, because on the savannah, there was nothing in our evolutionary heritage that was built to see exponential curves. So this is hitting us in a blind spot evolutionarily where these curves are not intuitive for how we process the world, which is why it's so important that we can package it and try to synthesize it in a way that more people understand the viscerality of where this goes. I want you to notice in this presentation that we have not been talking about chatbots. We're not talking about AI bias and fairness. We're not talking about AI art or deepfakes or automating jobs or AGI apocalypse. We're talking about how a race dynamic between a handful of companies of these new Gollum class AIs are being pushed into the world as fast as possible, right? We have Microsoft that is pushing ChatGPT into its products. We'll get into this more later. And again, until we know how these things are safe, we haven't even solved the misalignment problem with social media. So in this first contact with social media, which we know those harms, going back, if only a relatively simple technology of social media with a relatively small misalignment with society could cause those things, second contact with AI that's not even optimizing for anything particularly, just the capacities and the capabilities that are being embedded and entrenched in society, enable automated exploitation of code and cyber weapons, exponential blackmail and revenge porn, automated fake religions that I can target the extremists in your population and give you automated, perfectly personalized narratives to make the extreme even more Antifa, even more QAnon, whatever thing that happens to land in you. Exponential scams, reality collapse. These are the kinds of things that come from if you just deploy these capacities and these capabilities directly into society.
I just want to highlight one here, and that is Alpha Persuade. So you guys know the general conceit of AlphaGo, which is that you have the AI play itself in Go 44 million times in a couple of hours, and in so doing, it becomes better than any known human player. It turns out a lot of AI is now based on this kind of self-play idea. Well, here's a new game. You're given a secret topic, I'm given a secret topic. I'm trying to get you to say positive things about my topic, you're doing the same. Whoever gets the other person to do it most wins. Well, to do that, I have to model what you're trying to get me to say, and I have to figure out how to persuade you to say what I want to say. This is not AlphaGo, this is Alpha Persuade. And this is completely possible with today's technology, and in so doing, it'll become better than any known human at persuasion. This is really terrifying stuff.
And this moves to a world of these Gollum AI. So we still have this problem of social media and engagement, that when the business model is engagement, where I'm just trying to say whatever gets your attention, in the way that race for social media gets translated to these large language models is companies competing to have an intimate spot in your life, right? Competing to seduce you. There's a company called Replica that builds these sort of friend chatbots for people to be their best friend, and you talk to your AI, it's always there. And none of the things that they're doing are illegal, which is why we're saying that it's so long as you allow this to be pointed at our brains, it's not going to be illegal under 19th century laws.
And just to double underline that, in the engagement economy, it was the race to the bottom of the brainstem. In sort of second contact, it'll be race to intimacy. Whichever agent, whichever chatbot gets to have that primary intimate relationship in your life wins. So that's where Alpha Persuade will get deployed. That's where Alpha Flirt will get deployed. It'll be very effective.
Okay. So now chapter break. You can take a deep breath for one moment. So at least we'd want to go really slowly when we're deploying this stuff out into the world, right? We would want to make sure we're going pretty slow. This is a graph of how long it took Facebook to reach 100 million users. It took them 4.5 years. It took Instagram 2.5 years. It took ChatGPT 2 months to reach 100 million users. And because the companies are in a race to that intimate spot in your life, they're in a race to deploy it to as many people as possible. Microsoft is actually embedding Bing and ChatGPT directly into the Windows 11 taskbar. So every Windows computer has literally an access point to start talking to this alien intelligence that's sitting there. This is just a week ago, by the way. A week ago, they started deploying this.
It's very annoying to make this presentation because we have to update this every day.
Yeah, exactly, yes.